Hello, I'm Jan Mulvey and you're watching the Redmen TV.
I'm moving ahead to the return of the Europa League next week. Obviously, you know, the European adventure wasn't that exciting last year. Ultimately, like, it was a bit of a shambles. But you know, back in a competition that some maybe don't value as highly. But you know, for you, is this a competition that Liverpool? And I know Liverpool should be in it to win it every competition they're in, but you know, getting back on that European ladder and making themselves a European force again, is it important, the Europa League this year?
Well, that's where you gain all the experience in Europe. Europe is a different thing. I found out to my peril, if you like. You go into within sort of the Cup Winners' Cup. I went to Paris, Saint-Germain, tried to win the game, and I'm coming stuck, nearly beat them at Anfield. But sometimes you've got to learn from it. So it's a big learning curve. But as you said before, any competition you enter, you've got to try and win. The old UEFA Cup was a fantastic competition, possibly harder to win in terms of that than the Champions League or Champions Cup. But nowadays, it's obviously, I think there's too many teams in it, unfortunately. But again, go and play, go and try and win it, see what you learn off it. And then if you do happen to get in the top four, get into Champions League, you've got that in the tank, and it'll stand you in good stead. You
know, the performances in Europe have been really poor, and I think as a manager, he's obviously still a youngish manager, and hasn't really convinced at all. When the European matches have been there, they can go abroad, you know, completely stink a place out, get a 0-0 draw, take them back to Anfield and wallop them. That's ultimately what Liverpool used to do.
I think you've got to take Europe seriously. You have to build your reputation a little bit. Liverpool are in danger maybe of losing some of that historical success. I think we do have to establish ourselves, and I think we have to take it really as a genuine chance to win silverware. Last year the performance in Champions League was poor, and after going through the season of such hard work and being so pleased to be back in the Champions League, to actually approach it the way that we did, I think it was a disappointment to everybody. So the fact now that we're in the sort of the second tournament, the Europa League, I think Liverpool have to re-establish themselves.
Ultimately, you know, European football is not about gung-ho football. It is very tactical, isn't it? And unless you're like really one of the top teams in Europe, you know, Barcelona, you're not going to go away from home and win games 4 or 5. You're going to have to grind results out, and that's what Liverpool have done well throughout the history. And I think if Brendan can kind of learn on the job which he is doing, and he kind of can learn a lot from the Europa League, he can learn how to go and quieten a crowd. They're playing, really, prestigious clubs at certain kind of historical venues, knowing not just how to go there and grind results out. And if he can learn to do that, it's only going to benefit him in the Champions League, which ultimately, Liverpool failed at last year.
And they definitely do have to approach each game on its merits, and don't think that perhaps just because we're Liverpool that we're going to be, sort of allowed a bit of a walk-through. I think teams want to give Liverpool a bloody nose, and potentially we're in a tough group, but let's hope that Liverpool do approach it right.
So Liverpool returns to the Europa League then this week. How do you think the mighty Reds should do? Should they take it seriously, or is it a distraction from top 4 ambitions? You know my take on it. I want to win the fucking Europa League. But let me know yours. Comments below. Give the video a thumbs up and check out the rest of the content on youtube.com/the Redmen TV.
Line 3, 100, line 3 ready, zip is out.
Dispatching on 3. Okay, walk forward for us please. Step down on the first step. And down again for me. Okay, just put your hands across your chest. Bend your knees.